It's a big week here at the Star in Frisco. The Cowboys prepare to face the Philadelphia Eagles in Week 9 of the NFL season. Dallas at 5-2 following a 43-20 win over the Los Angeles Rams, and we welcome you to Special Edition. With Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, Nate Newton, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Glad you're with us. Let's not waste any time. Barry, 43 points on the board from this Dallas offense. They did the job again. They put up big points at home. But did this win do enough to build your confidence going into a big game like Philly?
It built my confidence in the offense. When we look at it, they were once again able to put another game, back-to-back games, where they looked extravagant out there. Dak Prescott, extremely efficient, extremely accurate out there. If we can build upon this momentum, it'll give me further confidence going into this Philly battle. But overall, that LA Rams team, it wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. And they're going to have their hands full when they go against Philadelphia this weekend.
Yeah, it gave me a little bit more confidence in the offense for their ability to be able to incorporate all of their weapons. I think they're starting to find a way to dish the ball out to Brandon Cooks, get the ball in Ferguson's hand, obviously CeeDee Lamb. But in terms of the effectiveness, not so much, mainly because of the schemes that they've been going against over the past few weeks. I want to see them do that versus man coverage.
It just reemphasizes what I know Dak can do when he moves around and be very instinctive. And it gives me confidence that the offense can make plays through Dak, through his legs, through his arms, and through his intellect.
Yeah, he's got to be able to move a little bit to get it done. He was able to be mobile against the Rams. Can he do that against the Eagles? But he also needs to get the top target rolling again. Isaiah, he did just that with CeeDee Lamb. Another big-time showing from CeeDee. Ever since he really talked about it following the 49ers game, he's been a primary target. Can that continue?
I hope that it does continue, but this is going to be the greatest challenge this week because these guys run 80% primarily man coverage. So he's going to have opportunity to go against Darius Big Play Slay and see exactly who's the most effective player on the field.
You know, I just think it took a little bit of time, a little bit more than we wanted to, but this guy's running with a whole lot of confidence, and him and his quarterback are on track. CeeDee Lamb and Dak are in place.
Yeah, without a doubt, this connection between Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb has been great over these past two games. 19 catches, 275 yards between that span. If those two guys are able to continue that connection going forward, I see big things for this Dallas Cowboys offense.
Yeah, it was the sixth game where CeeDee Lamb has had at least 100 yards in a single half. He did it in the first half. He also put up 2 touchdowns as well. When we come back on Special Edition, the Cowboys stand pat at the trade deadline. Why didn't they make any moves? Well, we go one-on-one with Cowboys COO Stephen Jones next.
Special Edition, presented by AT&T, is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com. Make your crypto play today. And by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by the NFL Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan.
The Dallas Cowboys are inviting fans of all ages to a free watch party presented by 7-Eleven on Sunday as the Cowboys face the Eagles. Dallas might be on the road, but you don't have to be. You can come out to the Miller Lighthouse at AT&T Stadium where the gates open at 2 p.m. Central Time. Fans can enjoy the Week 9 matchup between these two NFC East rivals. The game starts at 3:25, but plenty of festivities for all ages as the Cowboys cheerleaders, Rowdy will be involved, and of course the parents can enjoy a Miller Lite or two getting ready for the matchup. This past week, the NFL trade deadline did come and go, and the Cowboys were very quiet at the deadline. What was the reasoning behind that, and were the Cowboys close to a deal? Cowboys COO Stephen Jones sits down with our very own Nick Eatman.
Hello, Cowboys Nation. I'm Nick Eatman along with Stephen Jones, Cowboys Chief Operating Officer. And wow, what a week it has been for the Cowboys, coming off a big win against the Rams. The LA sweep. You got the Chargers, then a bye, then you get the Rams. But now the sights are looking forward against the Eagles. Can you look back at all when you know you got Philly sitting right there?
Well, we'll reminisce for a second, but to get the West Coast sweep and the East Coast sweep, New York and L.A., that was a nice one to know. On hindsight, you would have taken that for sure. But certainly, those are in the books. And all our focus is this week is completely on the Eagles. Obviously, you're playing a divisional opponent anytime you do that, regardless of records, regardless of how good the team is, you know it's going to be a big football game and anybody can win it. I think Philly was involved in that last week,
right.
You know, with the Commanders and the dogfight they had there in Washington, D.C. So, you know, regardless of the records, which as it turns out, they have the best record in football right now. We have nothing but respect, you know, for what they bring to the table in terms of the quality of their football team, the success they've had over the last couple of years. And it's time for us to step up. And we look forward to that matchup. We embrace it. Obviously, we're going to have a big week of practice, and we're going to have to go up to Philadelphia and execute. That's a tough environment to play in. Those Eagles fans are avid. Can be ugly at times, if you will, to the visiting team, I guess, as they should be. But, you know, we're certainly looking forward to it. We embrace the challenge. But we've got to have a great week of practice and go execute.
Yeah, 7 games into the season, and teams like the Jets and Chargers, Patriots, you know, Giants, who we thought maybe would be a little bit better, hard to tell. 49ers even kind of look different than when you played them. But at least you know what this is going to be a test here. I mean, you're talking about a 7-1 team. Do you feel like you'll know a little bit more about your team even after this game?
Well, you learn about your team every week. You know, just, you know, the goal is obviously there's a lot of football to be played in an NFL season. 17 games, we're not even halfway through it yet. And we know there's a lot of football to be played. The one thing you do know is you'd like to hope as the season goes, you continue to get better, you execute better. I thought we took a big step, you know, last week in terms of playing the Rams, and I thought the offense did a great job of taking that bye week and building on what we can do better. The defense stepped up, special teams stepped up. You know, I feel good about our overall health. All 32 teams have to deal with, you know, injuries to their roster. I mean, that's part of our game when you say, well, you're missing Diggs or you're missing, you know, a particular player, Leighton Vander Esch right now. Those are all things that, you know, all teams are having to deal with. But overall, I feel good about the health of this football team. I love the players. I love the leadership. I love the way they play the game. Like what our coaching staff is doing with them. And as I said, we've just got to have a great week of practice and then step up and execute and play Dallas Cowboy football the way we like to play it there when we head to Philadelphia.
Any given week in the NFL, something can go right, something can go wrong. The Cowboys will look to have everything work in their favor in this Week 9 matchup with the Eagles. You can catch all of Stephen Jones with Nick Eatman on DallasCowboys.com. When we come back on Special Edition, just might what this matchup look like for the Cowboys and the Eagles. A.J. Brown has been on an absolute tear. Can the Cowboys secondary have some success on the road?
This segment was brought to you by the NFL Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan. This segment is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.
The Cowboys have won 4 of their last 5 meetings with Philadelphia. They'll look to make it 5 of 6, but they're going to have to do so against the Eagles, which currently leads the NFL with the best record, 7-1. They've been great here in 2022, but Barry Church, when you look at Jalen Hurts, he hasn't been as clean as he has been in the past. Can Dallas take advantage?
I think they can take advantage because when you look at Jalen Hurts, you know, he's definitely what you want in a franchise quarterback. He has the arm strength, the athleticism, he has the intelligence, and as good as he's been at times this year, he's also been bad. He's turned the football over 8 times as far as interceptions. That's second in the National Football League. He's lost 3 fumbles as well. So for me, if I'm a Dallas defender out here, I got to make sure we win the turnover battle because it can be huge for this team overall.
I just think that they need to continue to find a way to put pressure on him. This year, under pressure, he's only completing just over 50% of his passes, has 6 touchdowns, but he has 5 interceptions. So go back there, give him a little bit of happy feet, and you might be doing a happy dance in the opposing end zone.
Works out well in your favor if you can bottle him up. But you also have some weapons in the backfield as well. Both Kenneth Gainwell and DeAndre Swift have been stout in this run game. Philadelphia loves to run the football. That's no surprise, Nate. But how do you stop them?
What you do is you maintain your gaps, man. And we're going to have a big game from Hankins and from Gallimore. These guys got to be able to two-gap so we can have the guys on the outside be free. If we can just stay in our lanes, you know, because Swift will hit in the middle real fast. He can get outside and he can read that run option pretty good. So we have to be disciplined in what we do.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you 100%. You got to be disciplined, especially up front when you're dealing with this RPO action, because Swift, he's dynamic. You combine that with an athletic quarterback out there, and it's going to cause problems defensively. So to me, tackling is going to be of the utmost importance, especially open field tackling, because all three of these runners, you talk about DeAndre Swift, you talk about Gainwell, and I'm going to even throw Boston Scott in there. If he sees a crease in there, they can take it all the way. So tackling is going to be of the utmost importance.
Yeah, and it doesn't stop in the backfield either. They can spread it out. Weapons everywhere, including A.J. Brown, who's been fantastic this season. Isaiah, when you look at these weapons, which one stands out the most?
The fact that A.J. Brown is absolutely beasting out this year. His last 9 games, I think he has over 125 yards, at least 125 yards in 9 games straight, which is absolutely absurd. They have to find a way to get up there and disrupt it. Playing man is not the best method against him. He's too big, he's too strong, he creates too much separation.
A.J. Brown, I mean, he's the guy that, whether it's double coverage, whether it's single coverage, this is the guy that comes up with the big play. He got 60 receptions for over 900 yards. He's averaging 15.7 a catch. This guy is a beast.
Yeah, all three of these guys have been Dallas killers in the past. A.J. Brown, whether it was with the Titans or the Eagles now, and then Devontae Smith since he's entered the league. Dallas Goedert as well. All three have had big games against Dallas. They can't allow for those guys to get going. Then defensively, the Eagles bring back a lot of the same talent that they had last year, but they also add some youth in there as well. Barry, what's the most dynamic part of this Eagles defense?
I think it's a tie. I mean, you look at it, this defensive line is outstanding. We all understand that, what they bring to the table. Cox, Jordan Davis, they got all these guys up front that can affect the quarterback, but they're great in the back end as well with James Bradbury and big play Slay on the outside. So CeeDee Lamb, Cooks, and the crew, they're going to have their hands full with the secondary, but Dak Prescott, make sure you have your head on the swivel, because this defensive line, they're coming to hunt, and hopefully offensive line, they can match that in there, and hopefully Dak Prescott can go out there and continue his stellar play against this great Philadelphia defense.
Yeah, it all starts up front for Philadelphia. That interior pressure, if they can hold the line of scrimmage, they're going to have some success because of the weapons around them. We'll break that down a little bit more as we go along and going into this matchup. But when we come back, we talk about the Philly offense. Isaiah Stanback hits the film. How can Dallas slow down the RPO? When we come back right after this.
This segment was brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.
I mean, RPO, I think every team does RPO. I just think the players make the difference in RPO. Every team doesn't have a quarterback that runs like Jalen Hurts. Every team doesn't have a wide receiver like A.J. Brown and another receiver named Devontae Smith. So, it's more the players than it is the actual scheme.
Micah Parsons just gets it. It's not always the RPO. It's not always the scheme. It's actually the players that make the scheme happen, and Philadelphia has plenty of weapons to utilize in their offense. Jalen Hurts leads the whole thing. Nick Sirianni as head coach, he'll set things up the right direction, but ultimately they have to execute. As we welcome you back to Special Edition with Isaiah Stanback, about to break down the film. Isaiah, this RPO, run-pass option, It's not a nuance in the NFL anymore. It's very common, actually. Over the last couple of years, it's risen to popularity. How do the Cowboys slow it down, though, when Philly runs it so effectively?
Yeah, this is like the foundation father of the RPO, right? The run-pass option. And you just heard Michael Parsons just lay it out for you, okay? A lot of teams are running the RPO, but every team isn't as effective or impactful with it because they don't have the personnel. Well, the Philadelphia Eagles do have the personnel. Let's take it to the film real quick. So, right off the bat, let's go ahead and highlight this personnel, okay? Right off the bat, you have Dallas Goedert right here at tight end. He's going to be sitting back there in the backfield ready to go in motion. You have Mr. A.J. Brown right there at the top of your screen. You might want to know where he's at. Devontae Smith, all right, their blazer, their speed guy. Oh, and then there's somebody by the name of Mr. DeAndre Swift that's back here in the backfield as well. You know Jalen Hurts is the quarterback. Okay, now as a defense, you need to be able to identify all these guys. Right off the bat, you need to know where every single one of these guys are. What makes this so difficult is that they make it so that you don't choose right. right now, there's the RPO. They have an opportunity to run the ball on the interior should you not defend this properly, okay? What else do they have the opportunity to do? Well, they're going to take Dallas Goedert and motion him across, okay? And once they motion him across, he's going to have the ability to do what? Get out into the route, okay? He's going to have ability to outflank you and run a route. Well, what's happening on the outside? Well, on the outside, they're going to take Mr. Devontae Smith, and he's going to come in and be a run-blocking threat. If it's actually a run. Once he identifies that it's not a run, he's then going to turn that into a route. So you have a route coming across. You have A.J. Brown is going to sit up here and say, hey, guess what? If you don't want to come up there and play defense on me up top, you're going to give me this much space, I'll just take the now right now, or I'll just give the ball to Jalen Hurts, give the ball to Swift. A lot of different options. Let's see it play through. Here comes the motion. Boom, coming straight across. Boom. Right now, pause it. Okay, the guy that they're putting in a Dill Pickle is going to be this defensive end right here, okay? He's going to do a good job here of trying to play in between. You really can't choose right. Do I want to go defend the run or do I want to come out here and defend the pass? Really don't know what I want to do. He gets caught in la-la land. He chooses more on the run. As you see here, he loses leverage. As soon as he loses leverage, what are the options? Dallas Goedert coming right out here. Okay, you have Swift coming on the inside for the block. Now he sees that it's not a run no more. He's going to take it out into a route. And A.J. Brown is sitting right up here on top if they decided to give him space. Jalen Hurts gets it out to him. Very quick pass, very quick decision. The reason why it has to be quick is because the offensive linemen are actually run blocking just in case he actually decides to give it because they don't know until after the play is snapped. That's the way that they are effective in terms of executing that play. But in order to stop it or slow it down, you have to do it another way. So same game, Kyle. Same game. Okay, but I want you to go ahead and pay attention to the defensive end. Okay, the defensive end right here is going to be looking in. He is trying to decide whether or not do I play the run or do I play the pass. Well, he actually does a relatively good job of playing both. Okay, let's see this thing play out real quick. Again, you got the running back going across the formation. He can give it if he wants to. Pause it right there. He can give it right here, and he actually has a seam on the interior offensive line. Okay, what's going on the outside? Well, you have big A.J. Brown coming out here. He's going to try to block if it's a what? If it's a run. If it's not a run, well, we're getting out into routes. Dallas Goedert's coming out here. Okay, they actually complete this one. What's happening down here? Well, we're running the screen route. We got a screen. They actually could have went down here on the bottom if they wanted to. He's coming out. He can get a block on the man on, and look at all this space in between the next man that can make a defense. Okay, he elicits to go up top. Play action, gets to Dallas Goedert. This is actually 2nd and 1. He gets it on him. Really good defense up here. They get it. They get the first down, but on most plays, that would have been a heck of a stop. Let's take a look at why this is an effective way to play this. Again, I want you paying attention to this defensive end right here. He does a good job of not committing to either one of the run or the pass. He plays it down the middle. He takes away the actual run. You guys see him coming downhill. Does a good job of coming downhill, but what is he doing? He's staying linear to the line of scrimmage. So if he decides to pause it right there, if they decide to give the ball to Swift, okay, then what is he going to be able to do? He's going to be able to come downhill and make a big play on it because there's nobody to defend him. But if Jalen Hurts wants to come outside, he still has leverage because he is outside of this tackle box. There is nobody that he's not committing fully to the run. He's able to still be able to come out here and defend the pass. Does a great job. Jalen Hurts pulls it, but you see he can't go anywhere. He has to get rid of the ball right now because that defensive end is in his face. This is a great way to defend it. You can't really stop the RPO, but you can slow it down and you can really condense what they're able to do. They do a good job there. Even though they gave it the first down, it was only a 1-yard completion. They do a good job on that defensively.
Ultimately, complex for the defense, simple for a quarterback because it makes things easy from a read standpoint. Dak Prescott and company will look to do something similar against the Philadelphia defense. Can Dak have more success? We'll give you the keys to the game, Cowboys and Eagles, when we come back.
Special Edition, presented by AT&T, was brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. And by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
Wrapping up things on Special Edition with Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Yeomans. It's the Cowboys and the Eagles, 3:25 kickoff on Fox this upcoming Sunday. Gentlemen, keys to the game. Barry, I'll start with you.
You got to win a turnover battle defensively. I mean, we've seen Jalen Hurts is not that MVP quarterback that he was last year. Defensively, got to take advantage of him.
I'm going to say disrupt the interior offensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles. If you can take away their run, you can put them in predicament.
Centers, Center, guards, come on now. I need you. Do that, we win.
Nate, what's your prediction?
I got us by 5, a safety and a field goal to break the tie. Yes, sir. We got it by 5. We gonna
Cowboys by 5 over the Eagles. That means they're channeling their inner Texas Rangers World Series. They're gonna get it done on Sunday. That does it for Special Edition.